I always have so much to say, and also have no idea what to say when people are like, who are you? Tell us about yourself. How do you even answer that question? I've realized that I do a lot of different things in my life, and sometimes I can even lose track of everything that's going on. So I'm taking this as a good checkpoint and to kind of understand everything that is going on in my life, because there's a lot. So if you're new here, I'm Chaeli. I turned 30 last year. So I am a burger. And if you're into star signs and all of that, awesome. I love it. Hello. In case you're wondering, I have cerebral palsy. I've been a lifelong wheelchair user. I mean lifelong, like living memory. I was 3 years old when I got my first wheelchair. So basically my whole life. I love fitness. I do CrossFit. I love what we can gain and learn from fitness experiences and journeys. And I'm an advocate for active living. And I think that means something different to me. I've defined active living differently for myself compared to other people who talk about fitness. I'm going to do a video about that just to explain more deeply my interpretation of active living. Stay tuned for that later. But I also love other things like reading. I maybe have a book buying problem, but I'm justifying it because I read everything that I bought. I don't buy them and then they disappear into this hole of not even knowing what the book is. I know what they are, and I'm reading them. They're on a list. I'm getting through them, but I still buy new books because I can't help it. But I'm okay with it. I'm also really into anything crafty. I tried crochet for a little bit, and that's quite tricky with my hands. So if anybody has any ideas in how to make crochet easier, or like not doing 18 things with one hand, that would be super helpful. The alternative to crochet, knitting. I love knitting so much. Yeah, I've made a couple things. I've made some babies and I made a jersey. The jersey I wore in my first video, I made that one. I love it so much. It feeds my soul. All of these things feed my soul. And they feed my soul differently. And I think that's okay. We move. I've been an activist forever, and I think it's inherent in living as a disabled person and wanting people to see and respect that you have rights. You kind of have to embrace activism at some level, and I'm a proud disabled woman. It's taken a hot minute to get to that point, but we are there. I think my life doesn't look balanced to people because I'm very busy with a whole bunch of things, but it balances for me because I am an endurance athlete. So I can go run for 12 hours and do those kinds of events and stuff, but also I am very ready to spend an entire weekend couch watching and binge watching a really trashy TV show. Like, let's go do that. It's all about balance. I feel really awkward actually telling people about some of the cool shit that I've done because I think a lot of people interpret that as me bragging or something. I'm just gonna do the list really quickly and then we can move on. So, some of the cool highlights, I climbed Kilimanjaro in 2015, became the first female quadriplegic to do that, which is amazing. I just finished the book that I wrote about that whole insane experience. So in 2016, we ran the combat for the first time, and that was insane. I've done it 7 times now. There's a whole backstory. I became the first wheelchair athlete to finish the race in the 95-year history. Obviously, there's a backstory to that, and I am really excited to share all of those stories with you guys. They'll come. And then obviously starting the Chaeli campaign in 2004 was an incredible thing that led my life down an insane path. The Chaeli campaign is 21 years old this year, and we impact the lives of 9,000 people every year, and that's so special that we have the privilege of working with people in that way and supporting them to become empowered, powerful, disabled people they are meant to be. I know all of this can feel pretty chaotic, and I can't ever just do one thing at a time, so the chaos makes sense to me, but it can get confusing, but it does all fit very beautifully together when you look at them together and where they feed my soul, all in unique ways, all in important ways. I'm very happy with my chaos. It's interesting to balance everything sometimes. I guess we can do some insight into what my life actually looks like. My day job is working at the Chaeli campaign, being the manager of relationships and funding. So essentially my job is making friends and making money, and I love it so much. Everything that I like doing I get to do as a job, and it also impacts other people in positive ways. So I guess it's a win-win situation. And then the rest of the time I am working through my business. I share my experiences and my knowledge that I've gained through living with my disability for my entire life. It's all rooted in sharing and storytelling, so I do speaking and consulting, focusing on changing perspective and perceptions and people understanding different mindsets that we can embrace and use to create beautiful, inclusive, accepting, welcoming spaces for everybody. I have a podcast called The Tangent, and that's all about the crazy stories and thoughts that I have about being disabled, and hopefully creating deeper understanding through that platform as well. I'm an author now of 2 books, so that's crazy to me to think about the fact that I'm an author. It's a big title, I feel, which is weird because anybody can be an author because everybody has a story, but I think sometimes it's hard to claim the title. But I'm an author. I have a course called Active Living Legacy, which focuses on figuring out what your path to active living is and what that means for you, because everybody has a unique experience and set of circumstances. We have to design things that work for us. Not all of these things are happening all at the same time. They're not all open and happening right now. If any of that sounds interesting or fun, or you want to find out more, the best thing to do is to sign up for my newsletter, because all of the details of what's happening will be in there. So if you want to be kept in the know, then sign up. I'll put the link below in the description box somewhere. You can go do that. I think it's important that I reintroduce myself here on this platform, because I have changed a lot over the last few years, and I've become more confident and comfortable with my journey as a disabled person, and we evolve, and I think it's all learning and growing and knowing more about ourselves, and I want to share the story behind the stories and unpack the nuances and confusion and give a full picture of my life. And I think I can do that better now because I go to therapy now, and I have spent a lot of time and done a lot of work to understand all of that better and how I feel about things. I understand myself in new, healthier ways. I want to share that, but I also want to be respectful of all the versions of myself that have brought me here to this version, and I'm hoping that I can articulate it in a meaningful and helpful way for people here. To align with that, I want to lean into that and have honest reflections on all the awkward moments in my adventures. And being an adaptive athlete, there's guaranteed drama over here, and sometimes it's very much in my own headspace that happens. I'm also gonna share the mindsets and approaches that have worked for me, the approaches and mindsets that really don't work for me, and explain why. I think it's important that people understand the reasons behind why things are happening and why we think in certain ways. Yes. Another guarantee on this channel, as you probably know by now, is lots of tangents. Everything will probably be sarcastic, sometimes unintentionally. There will probably be a few rants. Definitely gonna be rants. I would love for you to stay for that ridiculousness, and I would also love to build community around the ridiculousness. It's okay to panic and cry and freak out about things, and also to get a grip and get the thing done. You know, again, balance. Having done my little reintroduction moment, I would love to hear how you would reintroduce yourself to people, or one thing that you share now that you have learned about yourself. Yes, I think that could be cute. So go share your elevator pitch reintroduction in the comments, hit subscribe, join the newsletter, and I can't wait to see you next time.